Imagine stepping into your garden on the hottest day of summer. The sun is blazing, the ground is dry and cracking, weeds are taking over everywhere, us except in your garden. Your beds feel cool to the touch. The soil stays moist. There are no weeds in sight. And here's the surprising part. You didn't use any traditional mulch at all. No wood chips, no straw or cardboard, nothing. Instead, your garden is thriving thanks to just 5 simple seeds. Plants that act as a living mulch so effective you might never need to buy mulch again. In this guide, I'll show you exactly what those plants are, and how planting them once can completely transform your garden. Let's begin with the first and one of the most powerful options. 1. White Dutch clover. If crimson clover is known as a fast-growing, short-term mulch, then white Dutch clover is its long-term counterpart, a perennial, self-sustaining living mulch that can serve your garden for years. This plant doesn't just sit on top of the soil, it becomes a permanent green layer. It spreads naturally, grows low to the ground, and forms a dense, protective carpet that keeps your soil cool, moist, and free from weeds. White Dutch clover typically grows only a few inches tall, making it extremely versatile. Unlike taller ground covers or aggressive plants, it remains manageable and never overwhelms your garden. Instead, it creates a soft, even surface that you can walk on, kneel on, or lightly mow if you want to keep it extra tidy. This makes it ideal not only for vegetable beds, but also for pathways, orchards, herb gardens, and any area where you want both functionality and visual appeal. Another major benefit is its year-round greenery. While many plants go dormant or die back, white clover often remains green and active. In many climates, it survives through winter, continuously protecting the soil from erosion, frost damage, and nutrient loss. Rather than leaving your garden exposed, it acts as a living shield all year long. It's also incredibly drought-resistant. Once established, white clover can handle intense sunlight, dry conditions, and heat far better than traditional lawns or surface mulch. While grass may turn brown and mulch begins to break down, clover stays lush and healthy. This makes it perfect for hot climates or for gardeners who prefer low-maintenance watering. It also helps retain moisture in the soil, keeping conditions stable for vegetables and fruit trees. Like other legumes, white clover fixes nitrogen in the soil. This means it gradually enriches the soil beneath it, supplying nutrients that support plant growth. Vegetables benefit from stronger leaves and better yields, while fruit trees enjoy improved soil health and reduced competition from weeds. Using white Dutch clover around fruit trees is one of the most effective ways to create a sustainable orchard. Instead of adding mulch every year, you plant clover once and let it do the work. It reduces erosion, suppresses weeds, regulates moisture, and even supports pollinators when it blooms. On top of that, it creates a soft, natural ground cover that feels much more pleasant underfoot than bark or gravel. In raised beds, clover can be planted between rows of vegetables. Over time, it fills empty spaces, forming a continuous living mulch that reduces watering needs and blocks weed growth. It also gives your garden a fuller, more vibrant appearance. Planting it is simple. Scatter the seeds evenly, press them lightly into the soil, and keep the surface slightly moist until they sprout. Once established, the plant requires very little care. It spreads naturally, fills gaps, and maintains coverage year after year. Even if some areas thin out, it reseeds itself and continues growing without effort. Over time, white Dutch clover becomes one of the most reliable and eco-friendly solutions for mulching. It combines beauty, function, and long-term efficiency, a true game-changer for any garden. 2. Buckwheat. Buckwheat is one of the fastest and most effective plants you can use to protect and improve your soil. Many gardeners call it an emergency mulch because when your soil needs immediate coverage, not later but right away, buckwheat delivers. From the moment its seeds touch moist soil, growth begins almost instantly. Within just a few days, tiny leaves appear. In as little as 25 to 35 days, the plant forms a dense canopy that covers the ground like a living blanket. This rapid growth gives buckwheat a huge advantage over weeds. While weeds are still trying to germinate, buckwheat is already shading them out. Its thick foliage blocks sunlight from reaching the soil, preventing weed seeds from developing. The result is a natural, airy, but effective layer of protection. One of its most important benefits is temperature control. During summer, exposed soil can become extremely hot, reaching temperatures that harm soil life. Beneficial organisms like earthworms retreat deeper underground, microbial activity slows down, and plant roots become stressed. Buckwheat acts like a natural umbrella. It shades the soil, keeping it cooler and helping retain moisture. Under its canopy, the soil remains active, alive, and healthy, even during intense heat. It's also an excellent source of biomass. Buckwheat grows quickly and produces a large amount of organic material. When cut down, it decomposes rapidly, forming a layer of nutrient-rich mulch. Unlike wood chips that take months to break down, buckwheat feeds the soil almost immediately. One of its most unique abilities is nutrient recovery. Buckwheat can access phosphorus and other micronutrients that are locked deep in the soil, nutrients that most plants cannot reach. It pulls them up into its leaves and stems. And when the plant decomposes, those nutrients are released back into the topsoil in a usable form. This makes the soil more fertile for future crops like tomatoes, squash, root vegetables, and leafy greens. Its flowers also play an important role. The small white blossoms attract a wide range of beneficial insects. Bees are especially drawn to buckwheat, and it's often grown specifically for honey production. Other helpful insects like hoverflies, parasitic wasps, beetles, and butterflies also gather around it. These insects contribute to natural pest control by feeding on harmful pests. Buckwheat is also highly adaptable. It grows in poor soil, sandy conditions, clay, and even depleted garden areas. It's one of the best plants for restoring neglected soil and bringing it back to life. Planting is quick and easy. Scatter the seeds generously, lightly rake them into the soil, and water once. No fertilizers or complicated preparation are needed. Within weeks, you'll have a lush, protective cover. When you're ready to use the space again, simply cut the plants at the base and leave them on the surface. They quickly break down into a natural mulch layer. Buckwheat is perfect for filling gaps between planting seasons, protecting soil during hot weather, improving poor or depleted soil, acting as a living mulch in large garden areas, quickly covering spaces prone to weeds. It's fast, efficient, and incredibly easy to use, making it one of the best choices for gardeners who want instant results without waiting. 3. Sweet alyssum. Sweet alyssum represents a completely different style of living mulch. Delicate, graceful, pleasantly fragrant, and incredibly functional at the same time. While some living mulches are valued for their rapid growth or dense coverage, alyssum stands out by combining visual charm with practical benefits in a way few plants can. When fully established, it forms low, rounded cushions covered in clusters of tiny white, pink, or purple blooms that continue flowering from early summer well into autumn. It may look like something from a decorative garden scene, but it's also a hard-working companion in any productive garden. Unlike taller ground covers, sweet alyssum stays compact and close to the soil surface. Its spreading habit creates a natural living layer that shades the ground. This helps reduce moisture loss, keeps the soil cooler, and prevents the formation of hard, dry crust on the surface. Beneath this soft layer, the soil remains loose, fertile, and biologically active. One of the most valuable qualities of sweet alyssum is its ability to attract beneficial insects. Because it produces nectar continuously and its small flowers are easily accessible, it becomes a feeding ground for many tiny but important predators. Hoverflies, parasitic wasps, lacewings, ladybugs, minute pirate bugs, and soldier beetles are all drawn to it. These insects play a critical role in your garden. They actively hunt pests such as aphids, whiteflies, thrips, spider mites, cabbage worms, and flea beetles. The effect is so powerful that many organic farms plant alyssum regularly throughout their fields as part of natural pest management systems. Its presence alone can significantly reduce the need for any form of spraying. Alyssum integrates beautifully into vegetable gardens. Because it stays low, it doesn't compete with crops like lettuce, spinach, onions, strawberries, or carrots. It fits neatly between larger plants such as tomatoes, peppers, or cabbage without taking nutrients away or creating competition. Instead, it spreads across empty spaces, covering the soil where weeds would otherwise emerge. Its foliage and flowers provide just enough shade to prevent weed seeds from germinating. It is also highly adaptable. Once established, sweet alyssum tolerates heat and dry conditions well, continuing to bloom even during the hottest parts of summer. It can also handle cooler weather, surviving light frosts and extending its usefulness into late autumn. Planting sweet alyssum is simple. Scatter the seeds lightly across bare soil or along the edges of garden beds, gently press them in, and water with a fine spray. Within a short time, seedlings will appear, forming a soft, spreading layer. As they mature, they develop into the familiar mounds that spill outward, creating natural borders around your crops. Alyssum also reseeds itself gently. Once established, it often returns year after year without becoming invasive, giving your garden a continuous supply of living mulch with minimal effort. Unlike traditional mulch that simply sits on the surface, sweet alyssum is alive, growing, flowering, attracting beneficial life, and actively supporting your garden ecosystem. It functions as mulch, decoration, pest control, and pollinator support all at once. 4. Crimson clover. Crimson clover is one of the most energetic and visually striking living mulches you can introduce into your garden. As soon as it's deep red, almost velvety flower spikes rise above the soft green foliage. It becomes clear why gardeners value it so highly. This plant doesn't grow slowly, and it quickly spreads across the soil, forming a thick, protective layer that shades the ground and suppresses weeds. Its rapid early development is one of its greatest strengths. While weed seeds are still attempting to germinate, crimson clover is already well established, spreading outward and covering the soil. This gives you a major advantage in weed control without relying on chemicals, plastic covers, or constant manual removal. Instead of fighting weeds throughout the season, you allow the clover to naturally outcompete them. Its soft and flexible growth habit ensures that it supports your crops without overwhelming them. It simply fills gaps and protects the soil. Perhaps its most important feature is its ability to fix nitrogen. Crimson clover forms a natural partnership with beneficial soil bacteria, capturing nitrogen from the air and storing it in its root system. When the plant is cut back or naturally decomposes, this nitrogen is released into the soil, becoming available to surrounding plants. In this way, crimson clover not only protects the soil, but actively enriches it. Moisture retention is another key benefit. During hot summer conditions, exposed soil loses water quickly and becomes dry and cracked. But when crimson clover forms a dense cover, it blocks direct sunlight from reaching the soil surface. This keeps the ground cooler and significantly reduces evaporation. As a result, moisture stays in the soil longer, and plants require less frequent watering. Many gardeners find that they can reduce watering by a substantial amount after introducing clover. Crimson clover also supports the broader garden ecosystem. Its bright red flowers attract large numbers of pollinators, including bees, bumblebees, and hoverflies. These insects not only benefit from the nectar, but also help pollinate nearby crops, such as cucumbers, squash, melons, berries, and fruit trees. It works well alongside taller crops too. You can grow crimson clover beneath tomatoes, peppers, corn, sunflowers, broccoli, or even young fruit trees. It forms a living layer beneath them, protecting the soil while allowing the main plants to grow upward without interference. Planting crimson clover is very straightforward. Scatter the seeds across the desired area, lightly rake them into the soil, and water regularly for about a week. Soon after, you'll see rapid growth covering the ground. Once established, it requires very little maintenance. As the plant matures and eventually dies back or is cut, all its organic matter returns to the soil. This improves soil structure, increases fertility, and creates a rich, moisture-retaining top layer. Crimson clover offers multiple benefits in a single plant: weed suppression, natural fertilization, moisture conservation, pollinator support, and overall soil improvement. It is one of the most efficient and rewarding living mulches you can grow. 5. Creeping thyme. The fifth and final plant on this list brings a unique kind of transformation to your garden. Creeping thyme isn't just another ground cover, it's a slow-spreading tapestry of fragrance, color, and quiet resilience. Unlike fast-growing living mulches, thyme develops gradually, expanding with intention as it forms a soft, green layer that gently blankets the soil. Gardeners value it for its ability to create a dense, evergreen carpet that withstands harsh weather, tolerates drought, and remains visually appealing throughout the entire year. Once creeping thyme becomes established, it begins to fill every available space, forming a tight, cushion-like cover that is incredibly effective at suppressing weeds. Under a fully developed layer of thyme, weeds rarely manage to grow. The plant shades the soil, blocks unwanted growth, and retains moisture, all without the need for constant maintenance or replacement, like traditional mulches. In many climates, it stays green year-round, keeping the garden vibrant even during colder seasons. One of its most captivating features appears in early to mid-summer, when creeping thyme bursts into bloom. The entire plant becomes covered in tiny flowers, ranging from soft pink to lavender purple or crisp white, depending on the variety. These blooms attract bees in large numbers, while butterflies drift across them, adding movement and life to the garden. During this time, the atmosphere changes. Pathways become lively, borders glow with color, and the air carries a gentle blend of floral and herbal notes. Creeping thyme thrives best in full sun, where its aromatic oils become more concentrated and intense. When touched or brushed against, it releases a warm, herbal fragrance that lingers in the air. Some gardeners grow it primarily for its scent, while others also enjoy its culinary uses, harvesting small amounts to enhance roasted vegetables, grilled dishes, or herbal teas. It's a plant that serves both aesthetic and practical purposes. This herb is particularly useful in areas where other ground covers struggle. It performs exceptionally well between stepping stones, along pathways, around raised beds, at the base of fruit trees, or cascading gently over garden edges. It can tolerate light foot traffic, making it an excellent choice for creating living pathways. When planted near vegetables, creeping thyme acts as a supportive companion, staying low and unobtrusive while taller crops take center stage. It pairs well with tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, beans, herbs like rosemary and lavender, as well as berry bushes such as blueberries or currants. Beyond its beauty and fragrance, creeping thyme contributes significantly to the health of your garden ecosystem. Its roots stabilize the soil, helping prevent erosion caused by wind or heavy rain. Its dense foliage reduces evaporation, keeping the soil cooler and retaining moisture for longer periods. When used around perennials or fruit trees, it can noticeably reduce the need for frequent watering. Over time, as organic matter accumulates, it improves soil structure and supports a more balanced growing environment. Establishing creeping thyme requires some patience at the beginning, but the long-term benefits make it worthwhile. Sow the seeds lightly on the surface, as they need light to germinate, and avoid burying them too deeply. Keep the soil consistently moist until seedlings appear. During the early stages, young plants are delicate, but once they develop strong roots, they become highly resilient and largely self-sufficient. After the first growing season, maintenance is minimal. Occasional trimming is all that's needed to keep its shape under control. With time, this modest herb develops into a lasting, living mulch that protects the soil, fills the air with fragrance, supports pollinators, and enhances the overall character of your garden. Among all ground cover options, creeping thyme stands out as a perfect combination of durability, beauty, and usefulness. If you're looking for a natural alternative to traditional mulch that also adds charm and function, creeping thyme is an exceptional choice.